Dear students, let's start today's lesson. Our today's lesson about a letter to God from Class X English book, First Flight. Here I am going to discuss about the summary of a letter to God. In this video you will be reading about a letter to God summary. The author of the story, A Letter to God, is xi&xiisolutions. He was one of the greatest writers of that time. He was a Mexican poet, novelist, and also journalist. The story revolves around the idea of having unquestionable faith in God. The story here is the one taking place in a Latin American country. Lencho, a farmer, who is the protagonist of the story, writes a letter to God. In the letter, he seeks help from the Almighty as he discovers his entire crop yield has been destroyed by a devastating hailstone. Although his wishes get fulfilled partially, if not completely, he remains ungrateful in the end. Moreover, he questions the honesty and modesty of the postmasters. However, these were the only beings who actually helped him with money, anonymously, in the name of God. Let's know the theme of the story. The story discusses the power of innocent faith in God by a man and how he is able to accomplish his want through it. The story ends with an irony. The story talks about Lencho, the main character who is a farmer and has immense faith in God. Theme: the immense power in man's innocent faith in God. It teaches us that if man has childlike faith in God, he can accomplish anything considered impossible. Extreme faith in the Almighty can give you a ray of hope even in the darkest times. Who wrote a letter to God? Answer: Lencho wrote a letter to the God, explained his situation, and asked for some money from God. Question 6. Who read the letter? Answer: the postmaster read the letter. What is beautiful about the story A Letter to God? The story, The Letter to God, is about the faith and belief in the God which Lencho had. At the time when his crops were destroyed, he found God to be the person who would help me. The other message which can be pointed out is the nature of the post officer who made Lencho's faith towards God more strong. What is the conclusion of A Letter to God? Answer: there are two conclusions of the chapter 1 Letter to God, which is that the Lencho was the great devotee of the God. Because he write the letter to God confidently without thinking that God will send or not send the money.